organization, I would like to also share a little and maybe try as much as possible to give where needed the
food survey as well as from Melbourne. So there.
Mr. Niketole Heka, he is not new to NEPED, and as far as ecotourism is concerned, he has a lot of experience, and we are really privileged to have him here today. When we came forward for this workshop to him, he was very happy, very willing to be a part of this program, and like I said, we are very privileged to have him here. I would not take any further time, but I'll give the rest of the time to him for the first session based on the topic, Understanding Ecotourism, Concept and Principles. Sir, please, you can take that.
Title which they have given to me today, it is Understanding Ecotourism, Concept and Principles. If you look back, ecotourism, our Nagas have by instinct, by our blessed land and by our traditional culture, we have all the components of what ecotourism destination should possess. Yes, not all the tribes are democratic, some have kinship system, but with the coming of Indian administrative system, we are all same. So the key component of an ecotourism are nature-based. All the villages, we have natural areas. We all have conservation areas in our own villages. As our host, the NEPED, have been working extensively to conserve our forests. So they are in most of the districts helping our communities, called CCS. Later, our colleague, our friend will share more about that. I won't go that deep. So we have, in all the villages, we have nature-based. Nature areas are there and conservation focus. In our daily papers, newspapers, we all see about conservation in the area or district or whatever. So our people are moving towards conservation. And as we are in this 21st century, global warming is there. So everyone is concerned about conservation. And I'm sure you all are from environment science students, if I'm not wrong, or from different departments. And local community involvement, which we can call it community participation. Just imagine, if a king or a village head or the village council says, there won't be hunting of birds and animals, we follow them. From our ancestral time, we have been following our leaders, our elders. So, but naturally, it's only there. These are for definition. But before this definition comes, our system is already there. So forest conservation is there. We are very lucky that we have lots of natural resources, which I have mentioned before also. But since we Nagas, in these 16, 17, 18 centuries, there was some deforestation. But now we are all aware that we should conserve, and our community participation is there in whatever we do in all the villages, and education and interpretation, which is one of the most important component in ecotourism. Why I take economize that you must be seeing lots of YouTubers, because these days we believe YouTubers, but they don't know what the villagers are facing. Doesn't mean that we are not working, we are working hard, but it's very difficult to deal. We cannot say we have to be very hospitable, but people take advantage of our very good hospitality. So we make rules, we educate them, but they don't listen to us. And they give bad comments in YouTube's, vloggers. So that is what we are facing. But the component, as mentioned, education interpretation. That is the reason why I'm taking the example. You see now between the stretch between Konom and Zeleke and Henambe, the picnic spot. I'm sure young people, you must have already been there. In the past 5-10 years, it was pristine. Now there are lots of trash. Voluntarily we are cleaning. I don't mean all of you, but people from cities and towns, they come as if they have not studied. They drink the litter, they throw it. And now it's filled with trash. It's very sad to see. 2 times in a month, the Kohima Students' Union organizes sanitation drive from class 4 to class 10, voluntarily. And thanks to our host, NEPED, for giving us a machine which will segregate and reuse the plastics. It's on the process. Hopefully, some ways and means which we can fight with these litters. So education and interpretation for an ecotourism destination is very, very important. Why ecotourism matters? Because it protects our biodiversity. If we keep our Naga villages, if we keep on hunting all the animals and birds, what will remain for the next generation? Have you heard of a bird? All the villages and all, I mean, it's near to the town also, there is a bird called Great Himalayan Barbet. It calls like kulu, kulu, huh? So I'm giving the example of that bird. It's called Great Himalayan Barbet. So in the olden days, it is said that when this bird chirp in the morning, it is time to go to feed our brains, way back, when there is no clock. And when it's chirp in the daytime, it is a signal that it's time to have lunch. And when it's chirp in the evening, it's time to go back home. Because why I'm telling this, you people observe, especially in the evening time. Before the sun sets, it will chirp. Because not all the fields are near to the village. Because if they walk back to the village, it will be dark. So that makes much sense. So I'm giving the example, protect diversity. We have to protect our diversity. Of course, with due to our climate change, our diversity are also changing. Our professors knows more. We are facing one in Kohima. Not one, many, but I'm giving a small example. There is a small bird called Nagaland Empowerment, which people come to see that what's the bird in Kohima, but it's declining. Earlier we can sight near to the village proximity, but now it's declining. So we are thinking that it might be because of climate change. It stays in all those bushy areas, but now it's declining. So it's also very alarming for us because through that bird we are earning money, but that I'll come later. And empower local communities as well. Since there is community participation in ecotourism, it encourages and empowers the community. When ecotourism is there, when ecotourists come, sale of souvenirs are there, our guides can earn, our homestays can earn, our B&Bs can earn, even our farmers earn. There is a trend very famous in Kohima now. I mean, there are other places, so many people, so many places as well, but no owners, just the shop. We see so many other places as well in other districts as well. But since we are very lucky that we are near to Kohima, all the officers come there. And then recently the Union Minister for Consumer Affairs, I guess she also came and she was also very interested. Scanning, take the product, scan it. So those also helps, empowers the community, to the guests as well as to our community. And our youth, for example, our youth shows. Especially women, you have lots of clothes, lots of mekelas, right? But you don't wear it, it will become old. Our sale of old clothes are more than the new clothes, you know. Those old ones, not the new ones. The old ones, people think that, oh, it's an antique. But for it will be like just lying there. But the sale is more than the new ones, new clothes, new mekelas. Because the new ones will be like 3,000–4,000. The old one, if you sell it by 1,500, 2,000, it will go very fast. So in different angles, different parts, it encourages the local communities, from youths to the old mothers and to the old parents. Those old parents, I should say, the mid ones, for example, art and crafts, on basket making, and other wood carving. If we go to different districts, we have ample opportunities. But hopefully, young people like you can create the linkages between the villagers, because when you all are educated, you have to go back your village and also see your villages. It promotes environmental awareness, like as our host have did for us today. We can, in a small way, whatever we have learned from here, we can go back to our villages and educate our people, our own villages. Why I'm saying is that if we educate the village, they are very ignorant, they don't know. So we have to educate them. For example, a small plant, which can be a medicine, and which plant must be died off because of climate change. Or the bird, which I have mentioned earlier, the bird. I know some of the villagers hunt a lot. So you can encourage your villagers that if you keep on hunting that bird, then the old people won't know when to go home. And it generates sustainable livelihood income. Yes, very much. It's also a very concern for our state like Nagaland, but we can always do it, I should say. Especially entrepreneurs, tourism entrepreneurs like me. Sometimes if there are any political issues, we feel very insecure. I mean, our guests as well. But yes, only very few of us are doing this, bringing tourists from outside and then we do business here. We can count here, how many are doing? Which two companies are really operating in Nagaland? The Nagas. Only Guwahati, Kolkata, Bangalore, Delhi companies are operating here. Only a handful of us are only doing. So young people, I keep on telling you, you can do it. It's just a matter of 3-4 years, you go and learn it, the system, that's it. You don't need to have lots of skill. You all are all tech savvy. You just keep on watching YouTubes, and of course your good friend ChatGPT for your projects. But it's all there in the internet, you can do it. How tourism business is done, how we can create, help the community. You earn it, and then you give the good examples to the local people, to the souvenir shop owner, or to the mothers who are weaving. You can tell, go back and tell to your villagers that through this you can earn money, through homestays you can earn money. Because this earning 500 in a village is very big. It doesn't mean that if you sell once, it's going to stop there, no. That is why I'm saying livelihood, sustainable livelihood. One day you can sell 3,000, sometimes 100, but it can be sustainable, right? Just from your home, especially women, backstrap. What I'm saying, you can sit down and then you backstrap it, the guests will come buy it. What is interesting? And for example, homestays. Of course, no work is easy, but running a guest house is very interesting because you interact with lots of people, some good guests, some bad guests, some talkative guests. But it's all about experience. So from once you cannot learn it, but slowly you learn it. And it's very interesting, being into this profession. I've been in this profession for almost 10 years now. I run a guest house, I'm a to company owner, I have 2 guides which are expert in students and birds. And not many of us are doing. That's why I'm encouraging you. And you know how much I pay them? I pay them 3,000 per day. So it's also a lucrative job, I should say. And then, if you go on a tour, you are the boss. And you have to be very responsible as well. So from our sustainable livelihood, I went there. But young minds raise up. We can do it in our own places. It also supports conservation actions. I'm giving another example. Not many villages are doing. I'm saying lots about Kohima. Kohima, you must be fed up. But it's not only by seeing. There are so many things inside. Where we have brought up from A. We have not reached Z, but we have reached at least HIJ. Supports conservation actions. Once upon a time, the community, the council, the youths have conserved it. But when the money comes, those people doesn't reach there. So we decided the youths are the backbone of conservation. So we collect 1,000 rupees from every bird watcher and butterfly watchers as conservation fee in order to support the initiative on community conservation. So we support them back. Because the youths are the only ones who are poaching, who are doing hunting, secretly. So now it's very strict. So after getting 1,000, they said, through this conservation we are getting this money. This profit, I should say, in terms of monetary. So we give back to the community. And the principles. Tourism that doesn't harm natural environment. I'll come later, but ecotourism concept, it has come very lately. It came only in 1970s in Costa Rica, ecotourism. You must have heard about Florida in USA. Forget about Florida, you can take the example of Kohima. When there are lots of tourists, like mass tourism, I should say, lots of people. Take the example of our conference or sports meet in Indira Gandhi Stadium. Now people are concerned, aware. But when people go there, they all litter and they go back. And after that, no one will feel happy to go back when it is so dirty. So like that, once upon a time in Florida, there was beautiful beaches, but it was so dirty because of mass tourism. So this concept came in, that we should minimize, we should have the carrying capacity, and we should conserve the area. Meaning, which doesn't harm the natural environment much, and allow tourism. And build environment and cultural awareness through interpretation, as I have said earlier. If you don't interpret them, they won't know. If I'm going to a new place, new destination, I won't know the system there. So we have to have an office or have to inform them beforehand. For example, like guided tours. Before they go for the tour, we should brief them. For example, your home. If I come straight to your house and enter your house, I think you won't feel happy, the owner won't feel happy. Unless I give you instruction. So this is the washroom, this is the living room, this is the kitchen. Then he feels that it's not very, it's awkward to enter someone's bedroom. The same thing with us, the same thing with ecotourism, to enter a village. provide positive experience for visitors and hosts. There are so many types of tourists. The three main are, we call it allocentric. Allocentric tourists are those tourists which are explorers, or they go to new places which are not discovered at all, raw. These people will be like Chalega. It's okay. If I have a bed, that's it. If I have a bill, that's it. And the other type is mid-centric. We call it mid-centric tourists. So this mid-centric tourist goes to those places where the allocentric have discovered. So, for example, if I'm a mid-centric tourist, then I'll go to my friends who have discovered the new place. So these are the two types of guests which are mostly coming to our Nagaland. Mostly to Mon, Kohima region, and Zuku. Zuku attract the most number of tourists in Nagaland for trekking. But these people are not responsible tourists. Nagaland is not receiving responsible tourists. Why I'm saying eco-tourist destinations are responsible tourists. Some of you must have been to Zuku. Those are not litters by local people. Of course, we might have, but mostly the litters are done by outsiders. So we should educate them. We should, eco-tourists have responsible tourists. There are so many tourists which are more responsible than us because they've been traveling a lot. We get different type of guests. Say, recently I received a guest where they have helped the community. They didn't buy any products, souvenirs from Kohima or Dimapur. They bought it from the villages, and you know how much money they bought it? They bought more than 2 lakhs worth of rupees. I mean, shawls and whatever not decorative items. In Chizami, in Fetsaro, in Konoma, and some in Dimapur. So these people are very much concerned for local people. So this type of tourists are called eco-tourists. What they give back to the community. Their buying of souvenirs is more than the total amount which they have spent for the trip. So Nagaland should attract this type of eco-tourists and responsible tourists. As well as the host. The host also, not only in Nagaland, we have not reached that, but places in Sikkim. Places in Sikkim, for example, a village called Gazing, not Pelin Gazing, the other Gazing, K-E-Y-Z-I-N-G. That Gazing, they have only 15 homestays. But foreigners, they come there, stay there, and they give full time to the tourists as well, of course, those responsible tourists. And then, when they are going back, they invite the host and go to UK or Denmark, free. They are very happy because they had so much experience in Sikkim, that village, when they came here. So the host, it was very, I think it's not a loss. So why we say is provide positive experience for visitors and hosts. And provide direct beneficial financial benefits to conservation. As I have said, there are different types. There is a type of tourist called psychocentric. But psychocentric people have not come to Nagaland yet because we don't have the facility. We don't have 5-star properties. Hopefully some are in the pipeline. Ayubola. Let's see. If those things come up, we'll have psychocentric tourists here in Nagaland. But those people have money. Of course, they won't reach us to local people. But at least, if someone gets it to the Nagas, then that is also a thing. Because it will create lots of employment generation as well to our youths. When 5-star properties and mines, all those things come in. And as I said earlier, to conservation, financial benefit to conservation. All our villages have CCS. Most of the villages have CCS. And there is a uniqueness in all the parts, which can be our USPs in attracting our ecotourism tourists. I saw a very beautiful plan in Tunisan some time back in 2014. And I've never seen that again anymore. It's an impatient plant. When it blooms, it's like two butterflies. Exactly like two butterflies. So it's a USP of Tunisan. People from Vietnam ordered the seed from me. But I'm not the people from Tunisan. I cannot exploit the village. It is not like that. We should not exploit. So I didn't pluck it. Then I said, it is not legal in my country. So that's the reason why I'm saying it should get direct benefit, financial also to the conservation. I mean, if these people, for example, to some people, taking the example, if they plant that and then sell it, it's getting directly benefiting through their plants. And many people have been also advising or telling us to conserve as well as plant those greens and sell it to metropolitan cities. I think that is also going to be beneficial for Nagas. Those ferns, we are conserving, but take the plant it, and sell it. I think this also will do great in Nagaland. Provide financial benefits and empower local people, jobs and ownership. Other things I have shared, but ownership. Ownership is very important. I'll give you the example again. I hope the media fraternity won't be better than me. See, in Nagaland, if we see it, especially in the film industry, they'll just go and shoot it. Recently, a family man tree or something, and then Patan law, all these things. Where is the benefit of our local people? They are coming to our places and they are earning crores and crores of rupees, and where is that benefit? Of course, we are not the Malik, but they are coming to our places and they are making the product out of it. So the owner should also have some ownership, no? Part of it. So I'm stretching on that ownership. Like that, in tourism, there are so many other things which are exploited. The other people come and exploit us. So we should be careful. And ownership is important. Respect local culture, protect heritage and tradition. Those things we all know, but protect heritage. When we go to this, my students' friends know this one very well. When you go to Zuku or to some monuments, don't write your names. We say it's Heka, Moba or something, came in, blah, 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 blah. You are destroying the heritage. If I know my friend is writing his name there, I'll say, oh, you destroyed the place. So please protect and conserve our heritage as well. And support human rights and social justice, equitable benefit. Be it you are rich, poor, black, small, young, we're all equal to experience the activities. And the core features of ecotourism, nature, immerse, as we have covered it, low impact infrastructure, this is also important. Of course, these days, if we build construct our house, we want to make it Paka. Paka houses with lots of bricks. But let's also not forget our traditional touch. Recently, my village has been awarded UN Tourism Upgrade Program, and then we got mentorship program, the UN Tourism, and whatever. Once she entered my village, so the structure, she said, you should limit this. This is erasing the beauty of the village. But the present people, when we construct our house very big, very beautiful. Guided interpretations and learning. Locally owned services and homestays. Yes, please don't, your houses must be good and whatever not, but let us all work for our own people and for our own houses. Do not keep mates. I mean, when you are running a homestays, if you are running a homestay with a mate, then you are given a part of it. To do house chores and all. But let us not be like that. Conservation fee reinvested locally, as we have discussed before. And the challenges, over-tourism. Example, Hornbill. We are facing over-tourism during Hornbill, but other times you are dry. And mismanagement of resources. And greenwashing. So, you must have heard about greenwashing. It's a challenge to ecotourism. For example, a brand. If this is an edible item chocolate, and then I covered with eco-friendly and blah blah blah, and put green things, but it's not the real thing. It's just for marketing promotion. So it's greenwashing. Just to sell his product, he's using the tag name eco-friendly. So it's a challenge for ecotourism as well. Some of you must have participated in cleanliness drive and whatever not. When you measure it and see the printing, you'll come to know whether it's eco-friendly and lack of community benefits. If a company come and establish a hotel, like places in Leh Ladakh, the community are suffering now. Put up lease your land for 100 years, build a hotel by Santos Properties. The community doesn't have any benefits. It's only the rich, the companies get richer, not the local people. And infrastructure pressure, as we have discussed later. But these are not in our hands, infrastructure pressures and all. Of course, we can advocate it, but it's not in our hands, I should say. I have said so many about Kohima, but I'll give a brief introduction of what Kohima is. Known for community-initiated conservation forests. Many people have come to Kohima and known about the conservation thing. But why Kohima conservation is famous is that it is initiated by community in those days in 1998. In some, thanks to our department and our government for initiating, or NGOs like our friend FES and all, they go and educate our villagers not to hunt or not to do deforestation and conserve the forest and all. But our village, we are lucky to have some far-sightedness elders, so that we are the fruit of them. So that is why Kohima community conservation is famous around the world. People from around the world come to learn about this community conservation, how you could be able to do it. So they come and study. And many says, in so many writings, Kohima is not for Asia's first green village. It's not, who said Asia's first green village? Internet's filled with sheets, I should say. It's India's first green village, which is given by the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. Because of our sustainable practices. You have seen the topography of Kohima with our self-sufficient and self-centered and sustainable practices on the agricultural system. Kohima is not a green village. Some of the researchers have termed it as your practices are scientific knowledges with traditional practices. And in 2022, our great program was given by UNWTO. Earlier it was called UNWTO, United Nations World Tourism Organization. Now the nomenclature turned into UN tourism. So under this, it has just started, this program was started in 2021, only after the COVID. So Asia Pacific Kohima was the only village which was given upgrade program. And only 2 villages in India have given the world best tourism village. So we're also privileged, thanks to our tourism department for nominating us. Why Kohima is a notable ecotourism? Because it is a community-led conservation, traditional management of forests. You must have seen this elder tree, no elder, Elnas nepalensis. Because of this, also Kohima is famous. And low impact tourism models. Why I'm saying low impact tourism model is that besides the village walk in Kohima, we don't allow outsiders to come and operate with us. Outsiders to operator comes, but it has to be through Kohima registered tour operators. We have more than 8-9 tour operators. So through that, we manage by ourselves. For example, birding or cultural activities, those are organized by us. And bird watching and nature walks. April, March, October, November, we attract bird watchers and butterfly watchers and try to Kodomatsuku, a cultural experience with the villagers. We have groups which perform our cultural activities, which revive the Thai cultural songs and games. Also, show it to the tourists so that we learn as well as we earn. And activities are the activities: bird watching, butterfly watching, nature hikes and treks, homestay experience, traditional cuisine and festival, cultural show casting. And these are some of the community benefits which I have said earlier. Environment impacts, forest regeneration, increase in wildlife sighting. Why I'm saying increase in wildlife sighting is that our bird watchers, our bird guide goes, and then it increases. Bird watchers come to see only some specific birds. For villages like Kohima, there are 3 endemic species of birds. Called the state bird of Nagaland, the black chocopan. A small bird called Nagaland babbler, and another, we have a laughing thrush, spot-breasted laughing thrush, all those things for 3. They might have seen thousands, but they come to see specific, they have targeted lists. If I go this time, I have to see this, and then the work of the guide is to show them those birds. And there is a famous bird sighting coming up. I'm saying this for our knowledge. This is not in Nagaland, but in Manipur, called Jesami, near the Pek. So that village is also a hotspot for birds now. The 3-4 birds are very rare and which can be sighted easily. So those are coming up. Our Maluri brothers can also come up because that is bordering with that. I forgot the name, but it's under Maluri district. And protection of rare species, black chocopan, improved waste management initiatives, and the lesson from Kohima, community ownership is key. And our cultural values integrate with tourism. Conservation and livelihood can coexist. It's very true. Education builds respect among tourists. Generally, in an ecotourism destination, it involves indigenous communities, cap visitors numbers, educate tourists, pre-invest tourism income locally, monitor environmental impact. Yeah, so I have taken so much of the time, but it was a very interesting topic on my part to share to all of you, and I hope some of our students also come up with ecotourism business and educators as well, and all the best for all your future endeavors. Thank you.